Hello, welcome to another video.
Hello.
So much for next day delivery. However, we have now finally got replacement tube. So we're going to undo everything that we did last video so that we have continuous tube where it's going to be cemented, so we potentially don't have leakage in the future under cement, and then any joins will be further on nearer the IBC. So hopefully that's going to work.
Yes.
Got to get on with this now. It's very windy outside and we've got to do it because we're also due weather.
Yes, we are. Hopefully, it would be nice if that actually was the full length that we actually need, which would be brilliant. We'd have spare in case of issues with the other thing. So, right.
See how it goes.
Yes. So as you saw, this is what we did. We'll do it all. Should only take 5 minutes. And then thread that tube through that hole in that there wall. Right, let's get this done apart and then swapped around.
Okay.
Okay, it's quite breezy, so hopefully you can hear us. We're trying different microphone setup with little extensions and wind thingy bobs and whatever and whatnots. So we're gonna.
With the wind whatnots are actually called dead cats.
Yeah, but they're not.
Oh, they're not. Okay. The furry ones are called dead cats, and I'm just like, who on earth decided that's what that was called?
I don't know.
Anyway.
Yes.
Deconstructed everything, reconstructed everything with the new pipe. You can see the long length of it there behind me.
Yep.
I've now got to try and post this through the double layered wall and hope that it reaches the kitchen.
Yes, well, the problem is now we needed to open up the hole a little bit more to get a different elbow on, because the one we was using was too tight and this one will work better. But I may have backfilled the hole that Lynn's got to post that through.
Yeah, could be interesting.
But maybe not.
It might go straight through. Go on, fingers crossed, otherwise I could be a while.
Yes. And it doesn't matter if that little end fills up with a bit of dust because I've got to cut it off anyway. So we've got a nice clean cut. So while Lillian's continuing to struggle a little bit, she has much more patience than me. Now originally we was using those grey pipes there, which are expensive, and one of them was the one that we needed to go to the builders merchants to get because we didn't have the right size. However, now I'm going to use these ones, which are a lot cheaper, and they're not going to be long enough, but that'll be brilliant because we have to use those for the fish tank.
Thinking through.
Yay!
I know.
All served.
It's keeping on, keeping on.
Excellent. Right, well, I'll go round the other end in a second.
Yeah.
And sort it out.
Yeah, so it needs to go into a space, into a cupboard, into the machine, and then I can feed you here however much more you need. It needs significantly more than we always think.
Yes.
But yeah, we're through.
Excellent. Okay, so that's the pipe down there. It's a bit of a mess now. I've got to give that a clean. But the pipe will come through this carcass down here, out there, and then come around and go into that bit. So I'll get that done. There it is. It's literally a case of just pushing that pipe in and making sure it goes all the way home. There are some little blue plastic clips, as you can see there, that are to go on to lock it in place. But I won't put that one on until we're sure that it doesn't leak. And we're not going to be sure it doesn't leak until it's all set up. So, right, back outside. So now that needs to go in there. Yeah, it doesn't matter if there's a little bit extra on the inside. It really doesn't matter.
Okay.
And you just twist and push.
So that sits there.
That sits there, nice and neat.
There, nice and neat.
And when we cement it, it'll actually be pushed back a little bit further.
Yeah, goes like that.
Place. Yes.
So that's good.
Let's get the rest of it threaded on. Right, so what we have to do now is pass that tube under the gate. That's it. Actually, no. Could you come a bit more? I think it'll be easier. That's it. Perfect. Right, now I need to thread this end through there so it comes out to Lillian.
My turn to be the animal at the zoo.
Yes, it is.
I'll do the passing.
Okay.
You hold the camera and keep the dogs back. They're being so nosy.
That's it. There's a connector already on there, not making mistakes like we've done in the past.
Yeah.
Okay, right, there you go. hopefully this spindly mess here doesn't end up with a spindly mess. And ideally I need to go the other side in a second to catch it. There you go.
There you go.
Right, so if I go the other side and take another connector and this other pipe, we'll be able to do it hopefully in a oneer.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yes. Okay, so there we go. That's that end. I'm on the other side now. I'll go put a connector on and then this pipe on, and then hopefully it won't be long enough, we know, but hopefully get it a long way over there.
We're out.
Yep. Right, just keep going now. I need to go and protect it from, if you just stop for a second, otherwise you're going to end up getting caught on a rock or something and then it's going to stop and you get annoyed. There we go. Just got to push that in there so it's in the correct place.
So I shoved it in the connector, in there. Tube's going that way.
Yes.
It's got its pipe in it all the way.
Yes. But what I am going to do is find which one connects to this, pops in there as our neighbour coming with bread. Not for us, obviously. So then that's not visible over there.
Oh, okay, yes.
Yeah. And that should be about the right length, more or less.
Yep.
So
this is the IBC. And we have enough cable to do it in a oneer.
yes. And it's just got trapped.
Do I need to go up and untrap it?
Oh, yeah. No, I'll do it in a second. So, anyway, that's its drilling to go into here. This is full.
It is.
What?
Water levels here.
Yeah.
Do you want me to just feed it in?
No, just pull it, please. Keep going. That's it. Thank you.
And you want this extra feeding in?
I don't know. Yes, probably. It won't hurt. That's done. I think we're going to have to find a tap thing fitting for this at this end.
Yes.
So we can lay out black pipe. Also have to spray all this and get this poison gone. But it's so full, it's not going to be very well. It's going to stop, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to just dump a load of water now.
Okay.
Let it run down. Bend your feet. You ready?
Yep. Oh my word.
What a waste of water.
Yeah.
So that's why we need to get on and find out a tap. I'll have a word with Andy from Mountain View Farm.
Yes.
Because he has the same setup for some of his.
Just find out what the fitting is for going on there.
What the fitting is, yeah.
And where to get the pipe from at a good price.
Well, we can get a pipe in Penoso
Okay.
agricultural store, and we'll get the fitting from there hopefully. So that's a lot of water wasted, but it's going on the land. Okay, right, that's enough gone. There you go. Right, that's another 4 or 5 glasses of water you can have. It's amazing how much waste water comes out of these systems.
Absolutely, yes. Yep.
Look at the clouds.
Yes.
We're going to have to cover this up, I think, because I think the rain's coming sooner rather than later.
Okay.
Right, so we're going to mix a fossil. Righty-ho. So first, I actually want to put it in down here first. Didn't think, better put a bit of water in there. That's a bit dusty. That'll do. It'll head that way as I do it. There you go. It's literally just to keep the pipe in place and to stop diggy dogs digging it up, and then I'll come back up and do that in a little while. As you can see, I'm chasing the water and it's going over there.
Yeah.
I can't find the other trowel, so I'm to use this one. I can't stand it. It's awful to use. I guess if that's how you're taught to use, then it's easy. But one, I was never taught to use one, and two, it's just wrong. It doesn't work for me.
Right, show you when this is done.
Yes. Right, so we thought we'd made too much mix. We haven't. That's good. We haven't made enough, to be fair. But I'm only really bothered about getting this bit level and looking neat, because trip hazard. Over here nobody goes. So I just put blobs down to hold the pipe in place. But because we don't have the proper tools, because we are wingers, I'm just using a piece of old metal that originally was in the wall somewhere, I think. Ugh.
Don't remember where we found it.
Okay, so that's pretty good as a temporary thing, so we don't get tripping over.
Yep.
Right, I'll just lob the rest of this down here, just in patches to hold the pipe down.
Awesome.
And then this job is done. And also because I don't really want to overdo this, and then only because we're going to have to break it out again, because this bit needs taken away, doesn't it?
Yep.
Because of the height. I'm just doing enough just to hold the pipe down.
So as you can see here, all cemented in with a wee bit of ski slope against the wall to make sure any water doesn't go down behind the new cement into the building. Chris is making this nice and flat.
Okay.
It look okay for the rain, we'll just have to keep an eye on it. We don't want to cover this and not let it dry by putting plastic on it, but we also have got to keep an eye out for it if rain does come. It's
Yes.
definitely threatened on all the different sites and apps and all the rest of it, but it has cleared. So we'll keep our fingers crossed and keep an eye on it.
Yes. We've also got a warning for localised high wind gusts between 70 and 80 kilometres an hour, which isn't that much really, but it's enough.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's a bigger number when you're doing kilometres than miles.
That's true.
So as regards the reverse osmosis water filter system, is it actually worth it? We've had it now for about 3 years, and the initial cost was around €90. It was definitely less than 100, and I think it was about 90. And you need to change the cartridges, the filter and the carbon cartridges, and the reverse osmosis membrane filter system as well. And that works out at around €30. Sometimes it's a little bit more, sometimes it's a little bit less if it's on offer or if it's not. So that's been done twice in 3 years. So we're looking at what, 60, call it €150 over 3 years just for the system itself. We fitted it ourselves, so that's, take the labour of fitting that out. I'm sure that some people would rather a plumber do it, but then you pay plumber's fees and that's up to you. Lillian was at shopping yesterday and she had a quick look at the prices of bottled water, and it's not that expensive for bottled drinking water. 6 litres was I think about 70 or 80 cents, but we'll call it €1 for ease of maths, because that was the shop's own cheapest version, and obviously you're going to pay more for a more branded one. With the system as well, for every litre of water that's usable water, I'm sure we've said it lots and lots of other times, you actually throw away or discard 3 litres of water. So it's only you're only getting 25% of the water that you're actually using. If that's going down the drains, where the filter systems are set up in the instructions to go down to your waste pipe for the excess water, that's just wasted water. So for that, I would say no, buy bottled water. However, then you've got the counter argument that, okay, I'm going to buy bottled water, but then I'm buying all these plastic bottles. Recycling, bring back glass bottles. That's what I say. So yeah, so you make your own mind up on that one. Personally, I don't use that water for me, so it works out okay. I think in the long run, we're actually broken about even with the amount of water we've brought in and the amount of water wasted, because we used to collect the water in the water deposit, and that's got a nice amount of that water in, and as you've seen the IBC. So we're going to reuse it, but if you're dumping it down the drains, then no, I don't think it's very good. Now, if you live off grid and you've got an external water source that you buy water in, or you're collecting it off the land or off your roofs and that lot, definitely. I think that's a much better system, because if you're living off grid, then obviously you're already geared up for reusing your water anyway to go on the land of your property and things like that. If you're collecting it, you've got various filter systems like different micron filters and the UV light that kills bacteria and all the rest of it. But then you'd have this sort of system, but a slightly different one, because it needs pressurizing. So you get the next one up that has an actual pump, a pressure pump built into it. So when you turn it on, the pump turns on and it pressurizes the water to the correct pressure. Yes, I would say that's much better, because most people want to go off grid for environmental concerns and to not be restricted by what they can and can't buy. They can grow their own food and all the off-grid things. So yes, I would suggest that getting one of those is better than going to buy your water from a supermarket. And in Spain there are other water sources, but some of them are not potable water sources and some of them are. Now we have both in our town, potable and non-potable. Potable meaning drinking. For the potable water, we need a card to be able to use the system, and you're restricted to how much you can actually have per day. And the non-potable, you don't need a card. You can just take, within reason, as much as you want. Obviously, you can't take thousands or hundreds of gallons, or litres, but you can take enough for what you need in the daytime. So yeah, that's my thoughts anyway. What do you think? Somebody in our comments asked us to do, if we could do a video a little bit more in depth on changing from UK to EU Spanish plugs. So that's what I'm going to do. So here there are two different kinds, and it depends on what you're actually using them for. 2-prong, and this is actually a 3-prong. Now this one's already set up because it's from the fish tank, which I need to put back together again, a UK strip plug. Purely and simply because some of the equipment that runs from the fish tank needs a UK style plug, because it's the power transformers that are already made, and I'm not buying brand new equipment when the stuff I've got works. So what I did was UK strip plug, converted it so it meets the EU. This style plug won't work in France, or I think it's France, because the French have a different, or they used to have a different earth system where there's a pin actually sticking out the socket, but we're in Spain, so we don't need to know about that. Right, so first things first, UK appliance. So things that don't normally use a 3-pin plug, in the UK we know it's easy to tell which ones those are, because the wires are thin, and also the earth socket, earth pin is just plastic. So therefore, things like DVD players, TVs, stereos, anything that's double insulated normally doesn't have an earth. I'm sure there are exceptions that I don't know about. So basically, all you do is you cut the plug off, if it's a moulded plug,
and strip the wires back, and you have 2 wires, neutral and live, or phase I think it's now called, I don't remember, and just get these instead of buying the bigger ones, and these just come apart, little flathead screwdriver, and they'll come apart, just like this. I'm using this because it's going in the bin anyway. Just remember just to put your shield on first. That passes through, so that's that now, and then trim your wires as need be. And then in there, you should be able to see, there's 2 screws that hold it down. Basically, if you just keep in your mind, whichever way you look at it, blue to the left, brown to the right. So, that goes in, and you just get the screwdriver in the right place, and literally just tighten it up, and do the same for the other side. That goes in, and then that tightens up. Obviously make sure it's properly tight, give them a pull, and then have a little clamp there. So I'll undo that, and it literally just backs off, and it just, if I can do it, I'm looking for myself now. There you go. And that just slides into the clamp, like that, and you do this screw up, and then that pushes down, clamps your cable, and you just slide the outer bit back over. That clicks into place, and it's good to go. So the next one is this sort. Now this is already wired up. So what I shall do is I'll just take it apart quick, and then basically show you. There's so many different kinds of these. This thought, there's another, there's lots. They don't seem to be standardised other than the pin layout. So this one's actually a horrible one to do, but so if I show you a horrible one to do, then you can do it any way up, the other ones are better. And the only reason why it's horrible is because, I will put it in a bit closer, is because the earth wire, you have to wrap it around this brass screw. There isn't a slot for it like we're used to in the UK. So you do have to be careful. Same again, if your UK plugs are moulded on the end, so you can't remove them, just cut it, and then make the wires long enough. The other one that I did the other day was actually easier and better than this one. But it is what you get. I mean, these are from the Chinese shop. You could go in one day and get some and go, oh, I need some more. I'll go back. You go back to the same shop and they're not the same. So it's a bit of a potluck, a bit of a lottery. Imagine that you've already cut the wires to length, you've measured them out, you've marked them where you want them to be, and you've got enough extra. So the first one we'll do is the earth one. And then you've got to hope, really, with this one. These we've had this a long time, and I'm sure they don't do them like this anymore because they are a little bit bad. But if I show you the worst one that we've got, as I said before, it can only get better. And you just tighten it up. There you go, it's nice and solid and firm. Again, as you look at it, do it the same way as you would do in the UK. Blue to the left, brown to the right. And we've got a real bad wind today, or this afternoon. It sounds like something's come off and gone to the roof. It's light. I'm guessing it's the extra guttering from the house roof. Anyway, back to where we were. So, you got your neutral, your earth, green and yellow. Your neutral, blue. Or if it's really, really old wiring, black. And your live, brown. Again, if it's really, really old, red. And you just screw them in. Make sure again that they're all nice and tight. And then you put your clamp on. And the other beauty of this one, been one of the really, really bad ones, which actually I think we might end up replacing this. And I'll show you why in a second. Let's get this clamped on. Is that the screw that goes into there is right here, right where your earth wire is. Isn't the best. But yeah, so I have to push it up and then move the earth wire out of the way. Again, that's why I chose this one, bloody heck, as an example of a difficult one to do, or a not a particularly good one. But once you've got it moved out of the way, the screws out of the way, it actually has a pin, a tube inside, so it will separate the wires. And then you literally just slide it down, make sure everything's in the right place, and it just goes on. Oh, I did put it the right way around. I thought for a second I wasn't putting it the correct way around. Screw now, stopping it from coming. There we go. That goes down, the wires are safe around that surround. And it's done, it's ready to go. Hopefully that helped. Hopefully that was a little bit better. But again, that works. UK strip plug, EU style plug. But again, same as you wouldn't do in the UK, you wouldn't put a dishwasher and a washing machine and a tumble dryer to this sort of thing. It's all low powered stuff. Because in the UK this would only be rated to 13 amps total usage. So for what this was used for was for two, which are over there, LED strip lamps for the aquarium and an air bubbler as well, which is also really, really low voltage. And then I think we had a spare. But because I couldn't change them to what we need here, that's why we got this. And we also, actually inside the caves, we also have another one available for people that come from the UK. If they forgot a converter, got access to a strip plug so they can still use their UK plug-in things, phone chargers, that sort of thing.
Look, it's taken, it hasn't cracked, dogs haven't dug it, it's brilliant.
Yes. So we'll get some more wood now, because it's going to be another cold day. It's really, really sunny, but it is cold.
Yes, yeah. They have had snow at 500 metres higher than us, so apparently there is cold and damp in the air, I was told, in town.
Aye.
Which it is. It's got teeth.
So that's brilliant. And we can access this gate properly again now without the blocks.
Concrete blocks in the way all the time, yeah.